Hi, today I'd like to talk to you about the power of positive conversations. What I mean by that is having positive conversations where somebody is telling you something nice about somewhere they've been or something that they've achieved or something that they're pleased with, that we respond in a really supportive, positive, active and constructive way can be really helpful for us. Having a great conversation like that can actually generate oxytocin. And what we know about oxytocin is when we feel oxytocin, it reduces cortisol. So it reduces that stress hormone. When we generate oxytocin, we feel calmer, we feel more connected, we feel valued, we just feel better about life. So generating oxytocin is really important. So having positive conversations is important. So how do you go about doing it? Well, there's a really interesting piece of research which was done a few years ago, which suggested that we could use a model called active constructive responding. So that when somebody tells us something nice, something that they're pleased about, for example, I've just got a promotion, to pause and to notice how you're going to respond. Because sometimes when we're tired, when we're low, when we're fed up, we mightn't respond in a very active way. We might be constructive, but we might be quite passive. So we might say, for example, oh, that's nice, and then change the conversation and move on to something else. So it's active in some respects, but it's not really that helpful. It's not going to generate the oxytocin. Sometimes when we're tired, fed up, miserable, frustrated, we might even respond in a destructive way. So when somebody tells us, particularly someone close to us or possibly a partner, they, for example, have got some great news because they've just been promoted, we might be so distracted, so frustrated, so cheesed off that we turn around and say, promoted? My goodness. Wow, well, what's that going to mean for us? It's not going to get you out of doing the chores. I hope you're not going to have to work longer hours. So actually we respond both in a negative way, but also a really destructive way. We take any opportunity for generating oxytocin completely out of the conversation. They go away dismayed and flat, and neither of you feel any better. It could be worse because actually you could respond in a negative, passive way when someone says, I've been promoted, and just say, oh, right, what's for tea? So actually, you're not commenting a great deal at all. What's really important, particularly with the people closest to us, when they've got some positive news, is that we pause long enough to have an active and constructive conversation with them. Because the longer we hold them in that moment of happiness where they are pleased about something, the longer that we stay in that space with them, then the more helpful it is for us too. So both of us will benefit from oxytocin. So when they come with the news, I've just been promoted, having an active, constructive response is responding with lots of questions. Wow, that's great news. Tell me more. How did it happen? How did they tell you that news? When will you start? How excited are you? What's your first step going to be? So actually asking lots of questions and really engaging in that conversation allows your oxytocin to increase because you're showing a kindness to that other person. And it also encourages their oxytocin to keep going. They were already happy in that moment. And by you sharing in that happy moment, you're both going to feel better as a result. So thinking about the importance of how you respond when somebody gives you good news can be really helpful in terms of improving your mental well-being, but also helping with others too. So the fact that you're tired, perhaps frustrated, lacking in energy, perhaps a little stressed at the moment, just have a pause and think, how am I actually reacting to other people? Particularly, how am I responding and reacting to the people closest to me? Am I reacting in a negative way? Am I reacting in a passive way? Or could I do more to improve the way that I respond? Would it be helpful in my household to respond in a more active and constructive way? I'm sure we can all benefit from doing a little bit more of that. It will help us all in the long term and certainly in the short term with our relationships. So have a think today about the importance of positive conversations and think about how you could improve the way in which you have conversations in your household. Good luck.